Hey,
Yeah, I'm here, man.
there he is.
Jason just waved to me, man.
I did. I didn't see you.
Kenny left me on read though in the text messages.
Today's poll on the text line here at the YouTube, and I want to welcome everybody in at YouTube. Looking at Kenny's pretty face with his beautiful Kings hoodie. How many times will Kenny's internet go out during this interview?
Oh snap!
Wow. No, I'm just reading.
Why don't you look at the screen?
I am looking at the screen.
No, his screen.
What his screen? Number one, he fixed it. Number two, 1 to 3. Number 3, it's already out.
He brought the hard hat.
Yeah, he brought the hard hat. Look at that. Oh, see, I'm behind. That's why. Look at the hard hat, Kenny. You ready for this? Because it looks like it's going to have to be a hard hat series from now on, buddy.
What are you talking about? What do you mean?
Because the refs, so far today, from media and fans, we've heard that the refs are JJ Redick just said that the refs are calling everything for the Kings. Draymond Green is a victim. This is the best one. The refs want the Kings, the league wants the Kings to advance for ratings because Kings and Memphis or Kings and Lakers is better than Warriors Lakers. So we're getting it all right now, Ken.
Man, first off, Dave, you know I love you because I don't allow people to call me Ken.
Excuse me, Kenny. Which is worse, Ken or Kenneth? Honestly, Kenneth or Ken? Which
you can call me my government name. My mom would love that, which is Kenneth. But don't you ever call me Ken, Dave? Hey, I used to be
don't stop on me.
I used to be teased, man. You know that Ken, that Barbie thing back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I know it's and the doll was white. I never got it, but kids are cruel, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Dave, how's your back, buddy?
It's
day to day.
That's right. I saw Kenny. I got to tell you off the air what happened, but I will tell you, it's much better now. It's still a little sore. That's right. I saw Kenny as I was barely getting up. Kenny saw me maybe at my worst, and I'll give Kenny credit here. He had real concern on his face, and at one point I was still trying to be a wise ass. I'm like, Kenny, you don't know anything about back injuries, do you? And he was giving me all kinds of advice. It's better, Kenny. Thank you very much.
Man, I appreciate that. Hey, I just came out of the rush lounge. I had some food, man. I felt so sorry for you because I've been there, man. Yeah. Lower back problems, man. Yep. I have been there, but man, the way you were leaned over, man, I felt so sorry for you because when my back goes out, man,
it's over.
I've been there. It's over. It's a wrap. And
but we powered through. We powered through just like the Kings powered through. They got a 2-0 lead, Kenny. Your number one reason, other than, outscoring them, but number one reason why the Kings have a 2-0 lead?
Man, first off, okay, I'm not taking a shot at JJ Redick or anything like that, but the Kings have worked hard to get back to the position that they're in. So why not just give the Kings credit? Like, why does it have to come with something, right? Like, okay, the Lakers and the Warriors, that's always happened. Everybody's kind of wanted to see that series to a certain extent. But at the same time, like, if the Lakers end up beating Memphis, how come the Kings can't play the Lakers? You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, why are we even getting past the Warriors? Like, come on, you got to give the Warriors respect, first off, because the Kings have played great ball. And the fact that the referees are calling calls for the Kings, that makes no sense because that wasn't the case. And you could tell, like, there was incidents to where Steph Curry was getting calls that made no sense. And even in game 2, there's a lot of calls that made no sense. But at the same time, the refs are human, and everything can't go a certain way because everybody's going to have their own opinions, especially when it comes to that, because they want their team to win. Obviously, the Kings have been a better team. They kept the Warriors to less than 110 points. And at the same time, man, there's a lot of things that could have went wrong in that situation, especially with Domas and the Green situation, because right now, man, I was holding my breath, and then we found out about Domas. That it's nothing serious because obviously he's a key component, and that's why the Kings are up. That's one of the reasons why. And then you got Mitchell coming in playing solid defense and knocking down big shots. Like, it has nothing else to do with anything else besides the Kings are playing great basketball, and the organization is turning themselves around, and it's starting with Mike Brown being that guy.
Yeah. Kenny, you've had to battle in the paint like that, and it feels like, obviously this series is beyond physical. I mean, the refs are letting them play, so you stretch the limits to see how physical it can get. But I'd love your perspective on just that whole sequence. I mean, it was physical. It starts with Sabonis falling down. He's trying to grab bodies. He's down, grabs Draymond's foot, then the stomp. But just, in that kind of chaos of bodies, what did you see from that scenario?
Man, it happens. It's playoff basketball, man. It can't be taken personal. If it's taken personal, then it's going to take you off your game. I think that's where Green comes in, because he's trying to get people off their game, and he brings an emotional aspect to the game. You can't get caught up in it. It's easy to get caught up in that. And I think the way that the Kings have come in these first two games and held their ground, because the Kings are down at one point. You got to keep that in mind. And then you think, okay, here go the Warriors about to take over the game. But at the same time, the Kings came back with an answer. You always got to come back with an answer, especially when a team like the Warriors are going to play the kind of basketball that they're used to playing.
Kenny Thomas with us. Was Domas dirty in that play, in your opinion? Dirty play?
I mean, he grabbed his leg. It probably shouldn't have happened. But it's one of those things, man. You're trying to get any advantage that you can. He's on the ground. He's probably thinking, okay, well, I need to hold up Green. That's probably something I would have did. But at the same time, it's like the way that it escalated, things like that happen, right? But at the same time, the fact that Draymond's been suspended for game 3, obviously, if the Kings go down there to the Bay and they get that win, it's going to be because Draymond wasn't there. But it really doesn't matter. It comes with the territory. It's like when guys are hurt, you got to play with your bench. And I feel like Mike Brown's done a great job with keeping the bench entertained outside of Mitchell and Monk, and Trey Lyles, those guys that actually play a lot of minutes.
So, Kenny, if we look to game 3, obviously without Draymond, he's been a good defender on Sabonis. So has Looney. They both were in foul trouble. Then Draymond got ejected, and this pace they're playing looks like it's wearing down Looney a little bit. How do the Kings take advantage of Draymond not being there in that third game?
Well, I don't really think it comes down to Draymond to a certain extent. When it comes to the Kings and their success going down to the Bay, I think that they just need to continue to play the kind of basketball that they're playing. And it came down to a lot of balls that were 50-50 balls in game 2 and game 1. And I think if they can try and limit the Warriors to second chance points, I think the Kings are going to have a great opportunity to go down to the Bay and just compete, right? Because nobody expects them to get a win down there. Especially at this point being up 2-0. But if the Kings are able to come down and dominate, kind of like they did from the standpoint of attacking the paint, like Kevin Huerter, like he couldn't make a shot from behind the three-point line. But what I loved about Kevin is like he put the ball on the floor. He was attacking, getting himself going, and then it carried over to other opportunities. That's what I like to see when the Kings, especially being aggressive, just like De'Aaron Fox is when attacking the paint.
Kenny, I want to get your opinion on the actual play itself, because we felt like the suspension was as much, if not more, for what Draymond did after the stomp.
Yeah,
you've been in an. I'll tell you what I said, and obviously you're always honest. You tell me if I'm overreacting. I was right behind the Warriors bench while Draymond was yelling, and you and I've been to fights before, UFC, boxing, all that stuff, and to me, there's a palpable difference in energy when violence is in the air. There's a difference in the energy that you feel between a basketball, football, baseball game and an MMA or a boxing match. And I felt like in that moment, the energy changed to a fight energy from a basketball game energy. Did you sense something similar?
when he was doing all of that, I think he knew that he was going to probably be ejected to a certain extent, but obviously he probably didn't think he did anything that was that bad, right? Until you go back and look at the tape. I feel like he was probably trying to get his team riled up because that energy that he was bringing to the table, maybe that would help them to keep it going to be able to close out the Kings and finish that game, right? if you notice on his way out, he was dapping up his squad, like yelling at them, like getting them hyped, like let's go.
Yeah.
Like you guys need to get this win. And then obviously we're about to go back home for 2 games. They are about to go back home for 2 games, excuse me. But obviously it's gonna come down to they got a bench now. They got a couple guys that can come in and play. And take up the slack for Green and possibly do a little bit more, especially on the scoring aspect of it when it comes to the Warriors. But I feel like that building down there on Thursday is gonna be loud, and the Kings are gonna have to respond, like in certain moments. And I predict. I don't want to say predict, but I could see like HB having a great game because he's been playing great ball, man.
Yeah,
And just wait until Keegan comes out and has a great game. Like he's doing so many other things on the defensive end and getting in passing lanes and doing certain things like that doesn't come up in the box scores. But at the same time, like once he gets it, like from the standpoint of gets in the flow on the offensive end, man, hey, watch out.
Well, that's Kenny Thomas, analyst.
Man, I'm
You're
trying, man.
You're doing.
Yes.
Kenny,
I'm
you're
trying.
not trying. Hey, by the way, I recorded it and put it on Twitter. I thought it was hilarious, man. Game 1, and the reason why I like you, Kenny, and I'm serious, is because you're a real actual person, regardless of the situation that you are in. You are who you are, and
What is that? Who am I?
you're Kenny
Kenneth-
Thomas is who you are.
Kenneth Thomas, man.
Kenny,
Hey,
hey, I'm not trying to get stomped on, bro. So I'll stick to Kenny. But when you were on that stage with Matt and Kyle, and all of a sudden, I think the players were coming out, something happened, and you said, show's over. I can't hear. We can't hear. What the hell is that? I'm sitting there laughing at home, man, because you just had to be a part of the energy.
man, it's exciting in that building, man. I feel like I'm back at Arco, man, because that place used to rock, especially when I came my first couple years, and we consistently won, and the fans were always out there, and being a part of this environment and everything now, it's amazing, and I'm just happy for this city and the love I get going around the city and like asking me about the Kings and Light the Beam, and people think that I have the answers if they're gonna win. I'm like, I don't play anymore. I can't help with that. But
Hey, whatever.
just the vibe and everything, man. It's exciting. And I'm just really, really happy for Mike Brown. This is a guy that's been in the league for a few years, and I've known him since I was like 20 years old, and Doug Christie. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But I'm just excited, and man, I'm looking forward to it, and I'm just having a blast, man. I'm just wow.
All right. That's Kenny Thomas. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you took the under. We had no internet problems with Kenny Thomas. Look at that. Hey, man.
Perfect show.
Put the hard hat on the router.
Wow, you guys bet, man. Hey, let me tell you something. I got my pod, man. I got my Wi-Fi
there we
extender.
go.
You
That's
guys are such jerks. What do you mean? What's a professional, Dave?
You're a
Bring
professional. I said you're a professional. You went out and got a pod in the lab. I'm complimenting you. I'm not Kyle Draper. I'm complimenting you. You went out. You got a pod. I'm saying put the hard hat on the router this week. That's a gamer, baby. Come on.
Let's send this thing the right way, bro. Hey, come Thursday, you'll see this again. K9's hard hat. Hey, check it out, man. Hey, I gotta give Lynn some love though, real quick, man. Alex Lynn, I gotta give him some love. He didn't play all year.
Oh, Kenny, are you there?
He's come in. Yeah, I'm here.
Kenny.
Don't even try
Oh,
it.
don't do
Okay.
that.
Don't even try it. Nice try, Dave. Hey, see how? Hey, Dave, I was even gonna rub on your back that night. I even offered. And your wife's gonna get mad because you got another man offering to rub your
My
back,
wife,
Dave.
you know my wife loves you, man. You could do no wrong with her, dude. Boy,
Also, his wife would much rather you do it than her.
do it. That's a great point. You were praising Alex Lennon. You have every right to. He was
Yeah, man. Stay professional. Way to come in because I've been there. I didn't play my last 3 years here in Sacramento, and you get thrown in the fire. You got to go out there, man, and do what's right to help the team. Like, keep it up, Alex. And I'm happy you're still a part of the team, man.
We'll see you next week, and we'll see you on the coverage, brother.
Yes, sir. Hey, and just to let you guys know, as of right now, I only got the first round of the playoffs. So I would love to keep this going with you guys, even after. So you just let me know, Dave and Jason.
We're going to talk to your agent. We'll have our agents talk to yours and see if we can come to an agreement.
Jason, done deal. Okay.
Done deal. See you, buddy. Take care.
All right, fellas. Appreciate you guys.
That's Kenny Thomas. We are way late for a break. When we come back, De'Aaron Fox has joined some good company. Wait, hold on. This is the first year of the war. What are we talking about here? We'll tell you next.